Muslims, the Golden Dome and the Al-Aqsa Mosque is one of their holiest places. For Jews, it's the holiest, the site of ancient temples. But they're not allowed to pray here. Some are trying to change that, protesting. The police confront them. Palestinians are furious. It's a flashpoint. A religious issue is adding fuel to the political conflict between Israelis and Palestinians. The danger is that it reignites a Palestinian intifada or uprising. That's a real risk. This holy site is a tinderbox.
Speaking from Gaza, the head of the armed wing of Hamas, Abu Ubaidah, warns Israel not to make tensions in the region worse.
The enemy will feel the full wave of the explosion because they are responsible for the delay and the undermining of long-term truce efforts.
A ceasefire in August between Israel and Hamas militants in Gaza ended weeks of fighting that left more than 2,000 people dead, most of them Palestinians. Fears of conflict spreading again sparked in Jerusalem after violence flared over access to a mosque considered holy in both Judaism and Islam. This led to numerous deadly clashes between Israeli police and Palestinians. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas are in Jordan, hoping to find some form of resolution.
At least 4 people have been killed after an attack on a synagogue in Jerusalem. You're now looking at the latest pictures to come from the scene. There have been weeks of violence between Israelis and Palestinians leading up to this. And let's get more in it right now and cross over to RT's Middle East correspondent Paula Spear, joining us live this morning. Paula, can you bring us up to speed about the latest act of violence, please?
Well, as you say, the information we have is that 4 Israelis have been killed while they were praying and studying at a Jewish seminary and synagogue in Jerusalem. The reports suggest that 3 assailants entered the premises. Initial reports suggested that 1 managed to escape. Now, they were holding guns and axes as well as knives. 8 people were injured. 4 of them are in a serious condition. The 2 assailants were shot dead at the scene by Israeli security, and initially there were reports issued for people in the area not to exit their houses as a 3rd assailant was on the loose. But we're just receiving reports that that alert has been pushed down. At the same time, another assailant was apprehended in Tel Aviv. He was just about to carry out a stabbing incident. Now, this comes after clashes last night after a bus driver was buried. Now, an autopsy showed that he had committed suicide, but tensions are high on the ground amid some reporting that he was killed by Israeli security.
With breaking news from Jerusalem this morning, an attack on a synagogue in West Jerusalem in the last hour or so. Let's talk to our correspondent Tom Rayner, who's on the line. Tom, what are the latest details you can give us this morning?
Well, Stephen, police in Israel have confirmed that this attack, which was carried out at around 7 a.m. Local time, around 5 a.m. UK time, 4 people have been confirmed as killed as a result of 2 men going into a synagogue in the Har Nof neighborhood in North Jerusalem. Reports suggest they may have been armed with an axe, a knife, also reports of a firearm. Those 2 suspects were shot dead by police on the scene, police confirmed, and there are 6 other people injured, 2 of whom are police officers, which suggests, although this has not yet been fully confirmed, that there was some kind of shootout altercation with the officers who first arrived at the scene. So to recap, there's 4 people being confirmed dead by Israeli police. That's not including the 2 suspects who were also shot dead at the scene. We know that from the Israeli ambulance service that there are a number of people who are also critically and seriously injured. Now, this is a very significant escalation in what has already been a building pattern of violence over recent weeks, but it is by far the most bloody thus far, and the details still emerging, but clearly this will now have big ramifications for the level of tensions in this city. In East Jerusalem yesterday there were major protests following the death of a Palestinian bus driver. Israeli police said they believe he committed suicide. Palestinians say that was a cover-up and that they believe he was in fact attacked by Jewish extremists. So this is a city that was already on the knife edge, but tensions now extremely high. And the fact that this attack took place inside a synagogue in West Jerusalem will certainly mean that the likelihood of some very serious repercussions has only increased.
Al-Aqsa Mosque, Haram al-Sharif, or the Noble Sanctuary, Islam's third holiest site. Jews refer to it as the Temple Mount. In Judaism, it is the holiest place on earth. Established in the 8th century, Al-Aqsa is built atop ruins of two Jewish temples destroyed by the Babylonians and Romans during the millennium prior to mosque construction. Jews believe the Temple Mount sits atop the rock around which the entire world was formed, the center of creation.
The structure may have been destroyed, but the spirit remains. They may have succeeded in demolishing the stones, but they did not eliminate the soul. Our soul is there.
There is the Al-Aqsa compound behind the western wall, the sole remnant of the temples. According to Islam, that is where Islam's founder, the Prophet Muhammad, ascended to heaven.
For Muslims, it is the gate between heaven and earth, between man and God, between the life we live here and the afterlife.
Violence between the sides flares here periodically, but it gained momentum recently because religious Jews are being granted access to Al-Aqsa's compound, while Israel's government restricts Muslim worshippers from praying here. Muslims fear Israel is trying to exert sovereignty over not only the mosque, but all of Jerusalem.
Another factor contributing to the tension is space. The world's most important sites to Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are housed within the walls of the Old City. The size of the Old City? Smaller than 1 square kilometer.
How to resolve a conflict of sovereignty steeped in 2,000 years of history? The presiding rabbi says there's no solution. The status quo is as good as it gets. Jerusalem's Islamic leader disagrees.
The solution is for the Jews not to enter this holy site. Al-Aqsa is ordained by God and Muslims only. We will not accept anything less.
Both holy men concur that the current climate, fueled by political aims, is a dangerous one.
The flames of political war are manageable, but holy war's flames are very difficult to extinguish.
Political and religious fires are burning on both sides. The battlefield is hallowed ground. The soldiers, people of faith who genuinely believe they are acting according to God's will. Stephanie Freed, CCTV, Jerusalem.